Hello everyone, this is a video review disassembly of the Casio AE-1300WH watch. It's a pretty common watch. It has a pretty complex module with a lot of function and everything, and it's the closest thing you can get to a G-Shock as a stand as for water resistance. This one is 100 meters and the build quality is pretty well done. So we will start with the disassembly so you can see the module inside and how it is made. The module in this model is 3426. So let's start. First of all, you will need a screwdriver, a tweezer, and some wire to do the reset if you ever need to. Okay, so let's start by removing the 4 screws in the back. I'm just gonna zoom on it so you can see better what I'm doing here. I'll just remove the screws. Put them aside and don't lose them. Okay, so when you remove the back of this thing, remember the direction to put it back the same, because the speaker in the back won't fit with the springs. This thing with the little spring here. So always forget to, a nice trick is to watch the watch itself. You see the direction of the text, and it should be the back one should be the same. So we'll start by opening this. Okay, this is the back of the module itself, the battery. Normally if you want to change the battery only, you will have to remove this little latch here. The battery will pop out and you'll just change the battery. Since this is a new watch with a 10-year battery, probably we'll throw the watch away before changing that battery anyway. So before opening this watch, I want you to see this little spring here. Very important not to lose it. This is the spring that makes contact with the back of the speaker here. So the alarm works. Normally like that, it won't fall out. One end of the spring is bigger than the other, so you see you won't lose it. But if you open the module itself, you better check out not to lose that thing. So we'll start removing the module itself from the case. So there you go, pretty easy. The case itself, if you see, it's pretty sturdy made. We have a pretty thick gasket here. Of course, if you ever open the watch, re-grease this gasket with some silicone grease to keep the water away. The buttons are springy, so if you press them, they come out by themselves. So this is a higher quality button than the cheaper watches I review into my other videos. So you can see the case is a bit better made too. So let's continue with the module itself. So this is the module. Now you want to open this module itself. I'll show you the screen itself and everything. This is the module. It's really easy how to open this thing. First of all, I will take a small knife, just pike it like this, and you see it has a couple of notches. Just pop them out slowly around the watch. There you go. Another two here. And the last one. You see, if you look around, we already lost the spring. I told you about the spring. One end of the spring is bigger, and I'll show you how to put it back if you ever remove it. So for now, we'll just set it aside. So once we do this, we just pop out the case, and then we see the circuit itself. You see the back of the battery module. Basically does nothing very complicated on it. So we have this now. How do you remove this? If you look closely, you have two small notches here, plastic, that keep this thing in. So just put some small pressure on the PCB itself. I'll just put my knife under. Don't put it too far not to pop something out. And slowly press on these things so they pop out. There you go. The module is out. So we remove this, and what we find, it's bizarre, this model has some kind of protection behind the screen. So if you set this aside and you turn this, you'll see that the module itself has another kind of tape on the chip itself. So this is pretty new module, I guess, and it has a lot of function. It's quite cool that it's only one chip here. So by the way, if you look closely, I'm gonna just do some zoom on this module. This one doesn't have retroluminescence, so it has two LEDs, one here and one here. This is what it lights up your screen. So I won't remove this because it has some glue on the back. I don't want to lose it. So this is it. And here, if you remove this, you just put the knife here and just lift it, you'll see the screen behind. So that's it. It's as simple as this. It's nothing too complicated. Really well made. Watch. So basically this thing here, it's some kind of protection behind the screen, between the screen and the chip. I don't know why, but anyway, Casio put it there. Maybe for protection from shock protection, these rubber things. So to put it back, you have these nudges. Just fit them with the grooves on the side. So there you go. We'll have to put the screen back. So in the case you don't know how to put the screen back itself, I mean the circuit board, I'm just zoom out a bit so you can see better what I'm doing. If you look closely, you have two parts of on the screen, here and here, where you have some kind of bigger glass. This is where the light from the LED spreads, so you have two of them. So it's pretty easy to align it. Just turn these things. You have the two LEDs here, and here, and just pop it in really carefully. Don't press, don't use any force, and it clips, and that's it. The module is back. Now the fun part is to put this thing back, and of course with the spring itself. So I'm going to put the spring here and I'll show you how to put it back. So this is the spring. I'm going to zoom it a bit. The problem is if I put the spring back into this thing here, this is the hole where the spring is already, and then I put this on top of this, the spring will fall out. So the best thing to do is just turn it around. You see the side of the one side of the spring, it's a bit bigger, so that side goes up, and you just drop it in the hole. That's his hole there. That's it. And instead of putting this on top of this, you're going to put this on top of this. So if you want to know the alignment, just look at these big pads here. This is the negative and positive, the battery. These two have to fit with these two on this side. So if you put it like this, it won't work. You see it. So we're going to turn it a bit, and then we'll just, you see, they're going to fit together. Another trick here is to look after this groove here. This is the groove where the crystal itself, from here, it will fit into this. So just turn this thing back on, line it, and don't use too much force because you don't want to bend any clips or something. I'm just gonna unzoom it so you can see it better. So there you go. The module itself goes back to life. So it looks like it's working. You can try the light too. There you go, the lights. They work pretty fine. If you ever put the battery back and you don't see anything on the screen, that's why, because you need to reset the module. It happened to me once, so this time it worked perfectly, but sometimes you need to reset. So if you need to reset the module itself, just take a wire like this with two ends. If you don't have a specialty tweezer, I mean they are very thin, and you're gonna touch these 2 points. I'm gonna zoom it so you can see. Basically the hole near the spring with the spring itself. You touches this together. So I'm gonna do it here. Just put one and the other one touch the spring. That will reset the watch. You just take this out now and you'll see the watch, it's becoming back from zero. Once we do this, it's pretty easy to put it back now. So you just get the case back, align the 3 eyes with the 3 eyes in the box itself. If you have some dust, push it out with some compressed air or something. So just align them and put them brightly on top. It will not fit in the first inch because these buttons here, I'm gonna show you, the clips itself are blocking from the buttons itself. So just press the clips down a bit. I'm just gonna take my knife, I think it's gonna be easier. So there you go. So they need to be behind the button itself. So they work here. The other side the same thing we're gonna do. Just put a small pressure on the module itself and then there you go. So we're gonna test here. Works, the lights works too. So basically this is how the watch is tear down. Now you just need to put the back on and you're done. Don't forget, if you open the watch, to remove this gasket here and re-grease it with some silicone, dielectric silicone grease to stop the water from coming into the watch. The rest of the watch, it's pretty solid. Is not basically as tough as G-Shocks, but G-Shocks we all know are kind of marketing tricks. I mean, they're not that more solid as this. They just add a bit more rubber around the module and they ask you 4 times the price. But well, maybe the seal, rubber seal, it's a bit thicker too, so they go till 200 meters deep. The problem is that most of us will never get to that deepness of water, so it's pretty much a marketing ploy only. So if you need a good watch, this is a really tough watch. It's higher end than most cheap Casio watches. I got this really cheap for $20 from Target. So that's it, guys. We're gonna put back the cover itself. So don't remember, we have to put the text in the same direction as on the front of the watch itself. So we just, of course, we just make sure that the rubber are in the groove itself. And just gonna put this thing back here. You keep it with one finger and then start putting the screws back in. The screws are the same size as G-Shock watches. So in case you have a pretty expensive G-Shock watch and you need replacement screws, well, you could take it from this watch. They're the same size. So I'm gonna put this. I won't screw it to the end, and I'm gonna put the next one here opposite side. Normally, when you want to screw back the back of the watch, you put it in a star pattern to make sure that the seal are done properly. So normally I go like 1, 2, 3, and 4. So let's put the back one here. And the last one. Okay. This is a nasty little screw. Okay, there you go. Just make sure you don't torque them too much. You don't want to strip the plastic under. So just normal, and then just make sure that all of them are just tight enough. Go by hand, don't overdo it, you don't need that. And that's it, my friends. So the watch works perfectly. We're gonna check the alarm. You hear the beeps, everything works perfect. So there you go. Works nice, everything, the light itself too. That's it. And this is the teardown of this watch. Thanks for watching, and if you have any question, let me know. And if you do want to see more videos like this, well, let me know. I'll do it more for you. Or if you have old watches, old gadget in the house that you want me to disassemble and do a video on them, let me know too. That would be interesting too. So thanks again for watching, and have a nice day. Bye.